Good morning, everyone. Before to start my presentation, I introduce myself, Dr. Djoudi Lynda at the University Mohamed Khider, Biskra, Algeria, Department of Science Material Chemistry. Topic of my presentation entitled Synthesis and Structure Characterization of Cu substituted strontium cobalt Au3- delta perovskite oxides. Objective of this work is to synthesize nanoparticles of mixed oxide with nominal formula strontium cobalt 1 minus x Cu x Au3- delta with x equals 0, 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3 by the Citrus-Sorgel method, and study the influence of the synthesis method and the effects of the partial substitution of copper in besides cation sublattice on the phase purity and crystallinity of the end products. Introduction. Research in nanocrystalline materials continues to attract the interest of many scientists and engineers due to the large differences found in their properties, while the particle size is reduced and therefore possible new technological applications can arise. Perovskite type mixed ionic and electronic conducting MIEC materials have high flexibility to tune their physical properties such as oxygen vacancies, structural symmetry, lattice-free volumes, and metal oxygen bonding energies. These properties are strongly dependent on crystal structure and significantly affect electrochemical kinetic properties and stability of the materials. Strontium cobaltite is typical perovskite MIEC showing high electrical conductivity and electrocatalytic property as a cathode material for solid oxide fuel cells, and has been widely used as part compound to derive other high-performance MIEC cathodes, depending on analytic temperature and oxygen partial pressure during synthesis fabrication process. Strontium cobalt Au3- delta may adopt a variety of crystal structures, example orthorhombic, tetragonal, rhombohedral, and cubic. An alternative way to change the properties of strontium cobalt Au3- delta and similar compounds is to substitute cobalt in the B position by another ion of different charge, and this improves its transport properties by changing the formal valence of cobalt. Over the last few decades, the Sorgel techniques have been used to prepare a variety of mixed metal oxides. Now, experimental methods perovskite preparation. A Sorgel route with citric acid was adopted to synthesize strontium cobalt and 1 minus x Cu x Au3- delta nanoparticles. An estimated quantity of strontium nitrides, cobalt nitrides, copper nitride, and citric acid were dissolved separately in distilled water with magnetic stirring for 15 minutes. Afterward, the mixture was vigorously stirred on hot plates at 18 degrees Celsius for 4 hours. The viscous gel was further dried for 12 hours at 110 degrees Celsius in oven and ground into powder. Subsequently, the powder was calcined for 6 hours in air at 900 degrees Celsius. The processes used to synthesize the strontium cobalt 1 minus x Cu x Au3- delta powders and their characterizations are shown in the follow chart below. After the samples were synthesized and calcined at 900 degrees Celsius for 6 hours, the following characterization were carried out by X-ray diffraction, FTIR, and laser diffusion. Result and discussion. The figure 1 shows the X-ray diffraction of perovskite samples. The results reveal that all the samples are perovskite type structure with no detectable secondary phase. Therefore, all the main diffraction peaks could be indexed in the rhombohedral system. They are in excellent accord with card number 049069. This result indicates that the perovskite structure is well maintained after substitution. The magnified view round to theta 30 and 35 was shown in figure 2 with increase the Cu concentration XRD peak shifts slightly toward a higher 2 theta angles, right shifts, which demonstrated that the Cu2 plus ion was successfully incorporated into the lattice of perovskite structure. The lattice parameter, we calculate the lattice of different samples from the Stellar program version 3. The value of this are in the following table, and the figure 3 shows the evolution of lattice and volume parameter as function of copper contents. It's observed that the parameters and the volume decrease with increasing the copper content in the sample. Such a decrease is also a confirmation for the Cu2 plus substitution to cobalt 2 plus in the strontium cobalt L3 minus delta crystal lattice. The substitution of cobalt 2 plus ion with ionic radius equal 0.745 angstrom by smaller Cu2 plus ion with ionic radius equal 0.73 angstrom led to the reduction of the unit cell parameters. For the average crystalline size calculated by Scherer method, summarized in this table, the oxides have an average crystalline size in the range of 1530.49 and 48.74 nanometer. It's observed in the figure 4 that the crystalline size decreases with increasing copper content. This is probably due to the incorporation of Cu2 plus into the strontium cobalt L3 minus delta lattice, which leads to the crystallite decrease. For the laser diffusion, the figure 5 shows the particle size distribution for different samples. It's observed that the trimodal distribution with the sample equals 0. The bimodal distribution for x equals 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3, whose means diameters in volume equals 0.3057, 0.236, 0.225 and 0.213 microns respectively for x equals 0, 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3. These values are different from those of crystallite sizes calculated by the XRD method. This reveals that the agglomerates are present in the suspension. The infrared spectra of different samples are present in the figure 6. The higher frequency band around 581 cm power minus 1 was assigned to the BO stretching vibration mode, possible cobalt oxygen or Cu oxygen, stretching frequencies vibrations. This band is related to the environment surrounding the BOC octahedra in the BO3 perovskite. Now, conclusion. This work was carried out to investigate the effects of the preparation methods in the perovskite structure formation. The effects of partial substitution of Cu for cobalt in the besides of strontium cobalt L3 minus delta perovskites on the phase purity and crystallinity of the end products as also was studied. For powders with nominal composition, strontium cobalt 1 minus x Cu x L3 1 minus delta have been synthesized by Khider method. XRD patterns indicate that the stable perovskite phase with rhombohedral system has been obtained for all the composition with no detectable secondary phase as confirmed by XRD and FTIR. The crystallite size decreases with increasing the copper amount. The grain size of oxides as determined from laser diffraction is in the range of 0.213 and 0.307 micron. This result reveals that agglomerates are present in the suspension. Finally, I would like to thank all the organizers and participants in this 5th International Conference on Nanomaterial Science and Mechanical Engineering at University of Aveiro, Portugal. Thank you very much.